Hey guys, this is Naresh here. In this video series, I will explain how to build a hybrid framework. Let me bring up my OneNote and we shall get started. So in the first two videos, we have already looked at what is a framework and why do we use framework. And then we have also looked at what is a single and a multi-dimensional array. Now I'm going to cover what is a properties file and how to read a properties file. Now what is the reason of using properties file? I will leave it until we start with the framework, but for now it is enough to understand that how do we read data from properties file. So when we get started with the building of framework, I will explain to you in details why did I make use of properties file or what is the use of properties file, right? So let's get started. I'll bring up my Eclipse here. Now, as I have already told you earlier that the code for all this discussion that we are having, you can find in the comment section in the YouTube videos. So let me show that to you quickly. So for example, if you go to YouTube video here, which I have already posted. So let me go to this playlist here. Okay, so I haven't put the okay, so here you can find this framework. If you will come down below here in the comment section, you can find the source code link where you can find all this source code that I'm discussing with you in this particular session. Okay, so let's get started with creating or reading data from a properties file. So let me bring up my Eclipse. I'll create a package here. I'll call it com.c2d. I'll call it FRAMEWRK.PROP props. I'll simply call it props, and I'll create a new file in this one, new class reading from PROPERTI properties file, right? Now, how do we read from properties file? Or even before I get started with reading from a properties file, what is a properties file? Let me try to explain that to you. Now this has got more to do with Java, but anyway, I will try to explain it to you. It is okay if you don't understand it completely in today's discussion, but don't worry about it. When we look at the framework, I will give more details of that. But anyway, for the sake of understanding it better, I'll Google and ask what is PRTI file in Java, right? So let's see what it has to say. So here in the Java T point, it says that the properties object contains key and a value pair both as a string. Okay, so I hope from your knowledge of maps in Java, you know that map is a collection of it's kind of a data structure where you have a key and a value pair, right? Now this particular class, which is a properties file which comes from java.util, is also a key value pair. So let me show that show the details of this particular properties object from documentation. So I'll say java.util.prop properties file in Java, right? So let's go here. I'll go to the official documentation. I'll click on this, right? Now, if you will come, as you can see that this particular properties file is coming from the java.util package, right? And it is a subclass of hash table. Okay. Now, the important fact about properties file is that the key is always a string and value is also a string in the case of a properties file. Now, with that understanding, let me create a simple properties file for you, and then we will try to read data from a properties file, right? So let me open up my Eclipse. So I will go to the root of my project, which is connect to tech core Java YouTube videos. I right click and say new, and I'll go to other, and here I can say let's say text, right? So I'll create an untitled text file. I'll select it and I'll give it some name. So first of all, let me save it with some name. So I'll choose again my project where I'm saving all this. I'll call it data dot or framework dot properties. Let's call it FRAMEWRK dot PERTIES, right? So I'll save this file. Now the important thing you have to note here is that this file is with an extension dot properties, right? This is an important fact. Now let us try to create some data in this properties file. So I'll say key 1 equal to value 1, right? Then I'll say uh, name equal to, let's say I'll say Naresh, CHAURASIA. Then I can have something else, course equal to Java Selenium, right? So what I have done is I have created a simple properties file. What is a properties file? It's a file with an extension dot properties. So once, let me go and verify that it is actually a correct properties file. So I'll go to Windows Explorer here. Okay, so yes, this is a properties file I have here, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the data from this properties file using Java program. And if you are wondering that what is the need of this one, I'm going to use this concept of properties file in building the framework. Okay, so bear with me for some time so that when we come to framework, we will use this information, right? So I'll create a main method here. Now, first of all, what we have to do is we have to create a file object, file f equal to new of file, right? Now this file is basically this file is coming from java.io package, so you have to import that. Right here I will give the name of this file, which is framework.properties. So I will copy this name and I'm going to put it here, right? Now after that, what I'll do, I'll create an object of properties, which is this particular object, which is basically part of java.util. So first of all, I'll import java.util.properties, import java.util. Okay, so I'll import this java.util.properties. So I'll control spacebar and here I get the properties, right? So I'll import this, then I'll copy this and I'll try to create instance of this particular. So I'll call it prop equal to new of properties, right? So this is the constructor I have made use of, right? So far so good, no problem. Now what I have to do is I have to read data from this properties file. So I have to make use of input stream. Now in this discussion, I'm not going to talk about what is an input stream. I believe you know what is an input stream. If not, I'll take that discussion separately. But in order to read data from a file, we have to create an input stream. Now when we work on streams, what happens, it throws checked exception. So we have to put the code in try catch block. So I'll put try and then I'll put a catch block here. Now how do we create an input stream? I'll say, first of all, I have to import that. So I'll import import java.io. I'll import the whole package so that I don't have to import each one of them explicitly. So I'll say input stream is input stream equal to new of file input stream. Okay, in this I will pass this file as an object f. So it will create an input stream on the properties file for me, right? Now once the input stream is created, what you can do is in this particular object which we created for the properties class, if you will go and look at the documentation, so let me go back here, there will be a method called load, right? Load accepts one of the argument as this stream here, input stream. If you look at this one which I have highlighted here, right? So because it accepts input stream as an argument, I can say prop dot load of that input stream, which is, what is my input stream here? It is is. So I'll say is. Now when I do this, what happens, and this is the power of making use of properties file, that whatever data is available in the properties file, all of that gets loaded in the this particular object as a key value pair. What does it mean? It means that if I open this file here, if I say I want to fetch key here, so I'll simply say prop dot get of, I'll specify the key, right? So key 1, and it will return me a corresponding value. So I'll say string s equal to this. Now, in order to make this program a simple one, I want to make sure that we are basically just working on the strings. So what I'm going to do is I'll make the key value pair as strings. So props, if you go here, okay, so if you will go back here, I seem to have picked up a wrong method. So if let me just go back to documentation here. So I'll go inside here and you will see that there is one method called get property, right? So in the get property, you can specify the key and get the corresponding value as the string. So I'm going to say dot get of property, and in this I'm going to specify the key, and the key here is this key one, right? So let me go and put it here, for example, and then let me try to display sys out of s or sys out of s, right? And let me try to run this program. Right click, run as Java application. So it will give me the corresponding value. If you will see, for the given key 1, the value is value 1. Let me give the key as name. So let me give here as name, NAME, and let me try to run the program again. Right click, run as Java application. So you will see the corresponding value is the name Naresh Chaurasia, right? So what if you give a value here which is not existing? So I'll put some value dummy here. So if there is no value corresponding to that key, it will return a null for me, right? So this is the concept of how you can load the data from a properties file into Java code. Now it is a convenient means to load data uh, from let's say a properties file, which is a collection or a combination of a key value pair. Now how we are going to use it in framework development, I will cover that, and why also, how and why is going to be covered when we talk about the actual framework, hybrid framework development. But for now the focus is that how we read data from properties file. So just to summarize all of this, I created a properties file, right? This framework.properties file I created. Then I created a file object around that. I created a properties object which is coming from java.util. After that, I create input stream and I simply load that file, right? So simply loading of that file will basically fetch the entire data from the properties file and have it stored in prop object which we have created, and you can access each key, each value with the help of the key, right? So given a key, it will give the corresponding value, right? So this is how we make use of a properties file, or how we read data from properties file. So this is a concept that will be eventually used once we move on to the framework development. So this is the discussion for this particular session. We will move on to the next discussion in our upcoming sessions. Thank you so much.